Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Welcome back for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for December 27th through the 31st, the last week of December, last week of 2021. And in this part 2, we will talk about what stocks we're adding, updating in our watch list. Hopefully you've already watched part 1 of this week's weekly game plan. Santa Claus is coming to the stock market. If you have not already watched part 1 of this week's weekly game plan, we would highly recommend that you do so. And we'll get started, talk about our watch list updates, and also please stick around to the end of the video, and we're going to talk about some techniques to find other stocks that are moving. If we get pops due to the Santa Claus rally and unexpected stocks, we're going to talk about some tips on how you can find those and take advantage on a daily and intraday opportunity, and also how to set alerts in Webull. So we will show you some starting points again to catch those runners as they're going during the day, even if they're not on our watch list. So let's get started. Okay, I'm now on the stock screen of the online browser version of Webull, and just a reminder that now until the end of the year, December 31st, Webull has now extended their special offer to get 5 free stocks when you open an account in Webull. Originally, I believe this was supposed to expire on the 23rd of December. They've extended it till the end of the year. So if you're not currently using Webull, we would highly recommend it. It's our favorite trading platform, and I'll also show you some additional features at the end of this video that we discovered in the desktop version of Webull that allows us to make more money in our Webull retirement account. So again, you can get 5 free stocks now with your version of Webull if you already don't have a copy of Webull. Again, I'm in the online browser version right now. I'm on the stock screen. Here's our watch list. Again, a nice feature of Webull is you can have multiple watch lists. This is our weekly watch list that we do our updates in, and we'll start going through those. So firstly, as we posted in our comments of last week's watch list, we went long boil again. And we went long boil at 25.01, and this is again a long on natural gas, and you can see natural gas had dropped precipitously, is hitting this support level. We've scalped it in the past recently when it peaked and turned down again. Again, it's down here on the support level around it actually even dipped below our price, but then came back above. It's still sitting at a favorable price, so if you're not already long boil, you may want to take a look at that. Again, you can see some in part 1, some of our thesis and strategy for scalping natural gas, and we're going to continue to do that until it recovers back up here. Again, you can listen to part 1 on why we think it's going to go back up, but we're going to continue to scalp natural gas using boil. DDD is 3D Systems. We've had 3D Systems on the watch list for a while now. We're kind of waiting for it. We were making sure it was going to hold up a stable bottom. It looks like it does have a stable support. Now we're just waiting for an opportunity to dip back down somewhere favorable that we can go long DDD. We don't want to chase it, so we'd like a little dip, and we'll buy the dip. So now let's talk about a new one that we found in our screening. This is OBCI. This is Ocean Bio Chem Incorporated, and it is a profitable low float company. It does pay a dividend, a small dividend. It's 1.29% right now. It just went ex-dividend recently, so you'll have to wait a little while to get the dividend. See, it's low float, it kind of chops around, and also they got into a disinfectant for the pandemic earlier in the pandemic. And so with the resurgence of the variants, we think this may be a relatively unknown pandemic play. Again, they have a disinfectant. They also have a number of other products that are more reopening plays. So we see this as kind of a barbell approach. It's got some reopening benefits, some lockdown benefit. You can see it popped up recently. So we're kind of looking for it to dip down to this support, and again, it's a low float, so it's going to be choppy. It is profitable, so this looks like, you know, a good quality value type stock, the kind that we're looking at to add to our watch list. So if it comes back down to the support, we go long. You see it's got a decent amount of upside. If we go farther out, it's got more upside. We see all the way up to 15. So we've got a decent 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio in the long term. So again, this is OBCI, Ocean Biochem Incorporated. So again, that's one that we're adding to the watch list. Maybe we'll do a due diligence in the future. We're going to continue to leave pets on the watch list. Again, we'd like a little bit of a dip. It keeps running up a little bit. We like pets, pays a dividend. We scalped it before. We sold covered calls. We're going to talk about another opportunity to sell covered calls against those in Webull in a few minutes. So we're going to continue to watch pets. We're continuing to watch ROKU. It's run up. We would like it to come back down here. At least a little bit lower, and get a better deal on ROKU, and all we need is, you know, a reopening surge and push it back down a little bit, and we would go along ROKU. Please see our due diligence video on ROKU and why we like it, what our thesis is for ROKU. SVXY is the short on the VIX. We've had that on for a while. We'll probably, I don't think we're going to get an opportunity for that to hit. We think the VIX is now retracing, so that's unlikely. Rather, we would look at the long on the VIX. So let's add the long on the VIX, UVXY, and this is the leveraged long on the VIX. I want to add that to our watch list. So again, you can see how easy it is to add to a watch list via the stock screen. I can just select which watch list I want to add it to. I'm going to add it to my watch list. And then we can look at UVXY. UVXY is the leveraged long on the VIX. Again, the VIX is currently sitting at about 18, just below 18, but it's retracing. It's reverting to its mean. We expect it to continue to go down as the Santa rally continues into the end of the year. We definitely like it to bottom out and turn up, and then we would go long the VIX. Ideally, when the VIX is below 16 in the 15s, that would be ideal. We're going to leave TTT on. I don't really expect us to get this opportunity again. I think the Treasury yields have already headed up as we kind of expected, but if we get that strange knee-jerk risk-off activity where the prices spike up and the yields spike down, we might get a shot at getting long TTT, which is long the yields on the 20-year bonds again. Similarly with oil, oil's run up. I don't know if we'll get an opportunity to catch the dip. USOI is the Credit Suisse ETN on oil, pays a monthly dividend. Talked about that. We'd like to go long and collect that yield as well as run oil back up, but I don't know if we're going to get a dip on oil again. We talked about UVXY, the long on the VIX. VMD is that low float in infrastructure play we've had on the watch list for a while. It's kind of jumped around, it's kind of run up. I keep debating whether or not to take it off. I keep leaving it on in hopes that we'd get a dip and be able to long that. But again, it's low flow, it's very choppy. It's questionable as to whether it's worth chasing around. We're going to leave Zoom on the watch list. Again, similarly to ROKU, it tends to be a lockdown play, runs up on lockdown, pushes down on reopening. If we get pushed down on a reopening reaction, maybe we'll catch the dip on Zoom. I think there's a lot of very good long-term potential on Zoom. I probably should really do a due diligence and talk about some of the technologies that I'm familiar with in Zoom. But we like it long term. We're just looking to catch a dip. So that's what we've got on our watch list right now. Not a whole lot of changes. The main change is, again, we are long boil already, and we're adding OBCI, Ocean Biochem, low float, dividend paying, profitable value stock. And then let's talk about some other opportunities, how we can make money with our current positions. We're going to talk about selling covered calls, and then also some other ways that you can find stocks that are running during the day. Again, we talked about the Santarelli. We expect, even though a stock may not be a value stock, a good, cheap, profitable, low float, or small cap stock, they may start to run it, and we want to be able to detect those and take advantage if that happens. So we'll talk about some different ways that you can find these things as they start to run during a day, particularly good for day traders, momentum traders, etc. So we'll talk about some of these techniques in a minute. Okay, while we're looking for other stocks to buy, let's talk about other ways we can make money with our current positions, and particularly in Webull. You'll see I posted in the comments of last week's watch list that I was just researching again on how I could sell, potentially do covered calls in Webull in our retirement accounts, because most of our trading is done in retirement accounts. And I was previously unable to do options in retirement accounts in Webull, and I discovered that they recently, as of I believe the beginning of December, had added the ability to do options trading in retirement accounts, including IRAs, rollover IRAs, Roth IRAs, which is great. We're in the past have sold covered calls in our retirement accounts in E-Trade, so you can also do that kind of options trading in E-Trade. But now that we can do this in Webull, it makes that even more valuable. So again, get your 5 free stocks from Webull now, and you can also trade options in your retirement accounts. You can also trade crypto in your cash accounts, and we'll be delving into that in the future. But once we discovered that, what we did is, and this is only in the desktop version right now in Webull, or the mobile app. So if you're using the desktop or the mobile app, then you can set up covered calls, sell covered calls in Webull. So we identified all of our positions in Webull that were optionable. You also have to have 100 or more shares. So this is another consideration when you're buying a stock, is it optionable? There's a couple easy ways to find that out. Obviously, if it has options in the desktop version of Webull, then it's optionable. Another easy way is in FinBiz. There's a metric where it just says optionable, yes or no. It's optionable and shortable, yes or no. So if it says optionable, that means options exist. Then the key is going in and finding, is there an option with a strike price and an expiration date that is favorable, so that you don't mind it being called away. You're still going to make a profit, and the option, the price for selling the option is worthwhile. We will try to do some future videos on how to trade options in Webull. Maybe we'll collaborate with other YouTubers we know of that have done these types of videos in the past. We'll see. possibly the next time that we're actually selling these covered calls. But we wanted to make you aware of that opportunity. Again, it's a consideration when you're buying a position. You might want to buy in lots of 100 so you can sell the covered calls against those. And that way, if you're just waiting for the stock to rise, you can be making money on these covered calls. If they expire worthless on a monthly or couple month basis, you just collect the premium. Essentially, and one of these days I'll talk about this, is essentially creating your own dividend, is selling covered calls that are going to expire worthless. It's like paying yourself a dividend on these. So this is a great strategy to make additional money on positions you already hold, particularly if you're a long-term investor. Why not? Again, it's like creating your own dividend. So again, we'll talk about, we'll work on publishing some videos, more videos on options trading, both in E-Trade and Webull in the future, and or collaborate with others that have done so. But we wanted to make you aware of this opportunity and how this is another way to make money on your existing and future positions by options trading in Webull. So we hope this all helps. And now let's talk about some additional ways we can find runners, stocks to trade, etc. Okay, as we talked about in part 1 of this week's weekly game plan, ideally we want to find value quality stocks, and we are going into the Santa rally, so we may see some low float, some small cap, some penny stocks pop just based on some exuberance from the Santa rally that wouldn't necessarily qualify as value quality stocks that we wanted to add to our watch list. And in our preparations for this week's game plan, we couldn't really find a whole lot of additional good value quality stocks that we wanted to add on our watch list. But that doesn't mean that in the days of this week that these wouldn't pop up based on just the activity of the market. So we wanted to talk about, okay, what are some other ways to find these types of good value stocks on an ongoing basis, and then during the day, if one of these small cap, low float, biotech starts running, how do we find that and then take advantage of it? So firstly, I just wanted to highlight some of the previous videos that we've published, and you can go see. I'll put the links to all of these videos in the description box below. Please see these videos. I won't go into this in detail in this game plan, but you can see, how we search for stocks in FinBiz, and in particular how we find cheap profitable stocks. We recently published that because, again, that's something we're looking at right now. With the Santa rally, etc., with the tax loss selling, wash sales, etc., we want to find stocks that are still quality stocks but that are in a favorable position at this time. So please see those videos. Also, we have one using the AC Investor blog. This usually comes out only once a week, but again, if you're more of a momentum trader, breakout trader, etc., you may find some additional opportunities in the AC Investor blog, and you can see that video on how to reference that and use his blog for, again, it's more breakout trading, day trading, etc., although he does do swing type trading as well. And then when we're talking about, intraday movers, how do we find these things? Well, one way is, particularly in the pre-market, you can use, and you can see our video on how to find the pre-market gainers and losers in Chartmill, and I'll put a link to this video and a link to Chartmill and how you can use that to find gap ups, gap downs, runners in pre-market in Chartmill. Also, after hours, there's another setting to find after hours gainers and losers in Chartmill. Once you find these things, particularly once you find one in FinBiz or AC Investor, or wherever you find one of these that you want to add, you can put it on your watch list and watch it. But if you just think, okay, it might come down to a favorable support level and you want to buy, but you don't want to necessarily watch it all day, a great way to do that is you set an alert. So what we do is I have a number of them that I've looked at for a while. They're a little bit above a support level where I'd want to buy them, but if they dip down and hit that support level, then I want to take a look at them again. So a great way to be able to do that is you set an alert. And you can set alerts on any number. I don't know if there's even a limit in Thinkorswim. And if the stock comes down and hits that alert, that support level, it bings at you. You can have it send you an email. You can have it send you an SMS text. And then you go look at that stock and say, do I want to buy it right now? Is it at support? Turning up, crossing the VWAP? Okay, now I'm going to buy it. So this is a great way to, vastly expand the number of stocks that you are, quote, watching. Even though they are not on your watch list, you don't have to actively be watching them. So now, okay, again, I'll put links to all these. These are all existing videos. You can watch how to do all these things in our previous videos. But now I'm going to do some previews, some pieces of some future videos where I'll expand later. But I want to show you how to find hot moving stocks in Webull. And then I also want to show you briefly how to set alerts in Webull so that you can also do similarly, just like you do in Thinkorswim. You can set alerts at a support level or a price target, a take profit level in Webull, so that it will send you a browser notification, a desktop notification when it hits those price targets. So I'll show you how to set those, how to use the screeners, how to set alerts in this game plan, and then we'll elaborate on that in future videos. So I hope this all helps. Okay, now I'm going to very quickly show you how to create a screener in the online browser version of Webull to identify stocks that are moving, the hottest stocks that are moving at a given point in time. You can use this during the market, pre-market, after hours, etc. Right now the market's closed and we're not going to see any movement, but I can show you how to set it up. So you can see there's a screener tab in the online browser version of Webull. I just click on the screener tab. We can see here's the default, and then here's ones I've already set up. It will default to there. I can just select what I want to see. You can see you can select a region. I'm going to say US. I can select specific exchanges, or I can select all. I can select specific sectors, or I can again select all. Again, I'm going to make this just the simplest case. You can set the prices that you want to limit it by. So if we wanted just things over $1 to any amount, we can restrict it to that. And then I want the hottest, so I can save that. I'll give it a name, new screener, and I'll just save that. And then I can go to my screeners. We see the new screener, and then you can easily sort this. This will be the hottest stocks. There are other indicators, and we'll look at that in a second. And then you can sort by, in this example, I've got after hours change, so I can see, okay, what's got the biggest after hours change at this point in time. During the day, you could sort by the percent change, and you can actively see these moving up and down as the stocks start to run. You see their percent change start to increase. You can also sort by volume if you want to see increases in volume. And again, this is a great way to easily find stocks that are moving intraday, to find momentum stocks, penny stocks, low float stocks that are popping at a given point in time. And again, this is a great way to find those during the day. Again, there are other indicators. In this case, we're selecting the hottest indicator. And you can see some of the others. We'll do future videos going into some of these in more detail in the future. But we hope that this at least helps you figure out how to create a intraday momentum pop type screener in the online version of Webull that you can then watch during the day to find stocks that are popping, that are moving during the day. So we hope this helps. And now let's talk about how we can set alerts in Webull. Okay, now let's briefly talk about how we can set alerts, notifications in Webull on additional stocks, so we can get notifications if it hits a price target at a support level that we may want to consider for a buy, or take profit a price target above to see if we want to sell. So if I go to the stock screen on Webull, and I can pull up any stock in the stock screen by searching, or in my watch list, I'm going to use OBCI since that's was sitting in our watch list right now. And let's say I want to set an alert if it hits this 785 support level. So what I can do is I can click anywhere close to that level. Doesn't have to be exact, but if I right click, and then I can say, okay, create alert at 785. Now in this case I got exactly on that price target, but you can see I can change that number there very easily to make it fit where I want it to go. In this case I'm looking for it to dip below that price. Now maybe I want to say, okay, if it goes below 786, that means it's going to be, near 785, and you can see you can set it on price, percent change, or volume, and then you can put a note, support at 785, and you can say buy at support, whatever you want the note to be when it pops up. And then you just hit save, and you see this little arrow pops up, and it tells you if you hover over it, it's an alert when the price is below 786. So when that occurs, you will get a system notification, a desktop notification. It'll pop up on your screen with that message. It'll show up in your desktop notifications in that area, and then you can look at it or clear it. Right now, as far as I know, Webull does not support email or text alerts. So again, you have to be watching the screen, or you come back and you see, oh, there's some notifications, and that means these alerts have hit. Now, if I want to set alert, for example, for a sell, for a take profit, let's say on OBCI, I want to set it if it hits up here at this peak level. Very similarly, I just put my cursor somewhere near that area, and that looks like 1521. I right click, I say create an alert, and I can say, okay, if it's above, let's say 1520, price above, sell at resistance at 1521. So again, if the price goes above 1520, then maybe I want to sell it there. I just hit save, and again we see the little triangle to the right side of the screen says, okay, when the price moves above 1520, I'm going to get a system notification. If you want to modify that alert, it's very easy. Just click on it. Let's say I want to change that to whatever, 21. I just save that. Okay, now sell if it's above 1521. So again, you can see how easy it is to set up these alerts, modify the alerts. If I want to delete that alert, I can just click on it, say delete. Okay, now it's gone. So it's really easy to create, modify, delete alerts in Webull. Again, these will be triggered if the price happens to hit, in this case below, in the uppercase above, that alert. It shows up on your screen. You can go look at it, make a decision whether you want to buy or sell based on that alert. So again, we'll do more videos, more detail on alerts, using alerts in Webull probably in the future, but we hope that helps. You can also see again our previous video on how to set alerts in Thinkorswim. Again, this gives you great coverage from the different platforms, different stocks you're watching in the different platforms. So we hope this all helps. Thank you again for joining us for part 2 of our BeachBum Trading Weekly game plan for the last week of December 2021, the 27th through the 31st. Reminder, the 31st, the markets are open. Thank you again. Please keep an eye on the comments as we reevaluate, see any additional stocks we want to add to our watch list, any positions we take, etc. We'll try to post those in the comments of this video. Also, please keep an eye and follow us on our social media sites. We'll try to post our buys, some news, etc. Discoveries, like when we found the covered calls opportunity in Webull. I'll try to post that to our social media, so I hope you'll also follow us in social media. Please join us in the Facebook group where we can have discussions on any topic related to anything, stocks, trading, etc. that you would like. Please join us and let us know how we can help you succeed in your trading career. So thank you again for watching our video to the end. Please let us know what you think. Give us your feedback. We hope you like it. Smash the like button, please, so YouTube will share our video with more of your fellow BeachBum traders and friends and traders around the world. If you're not already part of our BeachBum trading community, we hope you'll choose to subscribe. Please share our video with your friends and fellow traders. And please join us and hit the notify button so you'll be notified of future videos. And please join us in future videos. So thank you again. Good luck and have a great trading week. We hope that you like our weekly game plan for the trading week for this week. Thank you for watching the video to the end. If you found this helpful, we hope that you will choose to subscribe to our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel, and please click the bell icon below to automatically be notified whenever we publish a new video. Please also share this with your fellow traders and friends via the share button included below. And let us know if you found our weekly game plans helpful in the comments included below. And let us know how we can improve. What would you like to see more, less of, etc. Thank you again for watching. Good luck and have a great trading week. Bye.